Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I know it's been quite a while since I last made one, but yeah, anyway, I'm back for the finals of the V8 Junior Series here at Yas Marina Round 7. Qualified in P9, not my greatest qualifying, did kind of mess up my fastest lap, but yeah, just gonna have to see what I can do from here now going into turn 1. Almost 3 wide there, do manage to get through relatively cleanly though as we go into the S's here. It's gonna get a bit tasty up in front. I'm gonna get a helpful push through the gap, putting me up into P8. However, Manny's going to be right there on my right hand side to try and take that position away from me, and now going into the chicane, it looks like we're going to be 3 wide in the braking zone. On the brakes, just a bit too late. Really hard to spot my braking point when there's 2 cars covering it, but anyway, Rabbit, good awareness there to see me coming, and I'm going to try and give him back the position here without losing too much time myself there, just leaving him a big gap on the inside for him to go back up the inside and get into P6 again on the straight, but up into P7 now after starting P9, so not too bad. Over the front pack of the top 5, they seem to have broken away a bit. They seem to already have a bit of a pace advantage over the rest of us as we run down this first of the long straights into the braking zone for the chicane. A bit late on my part, where just about get it stopped there. I did have a look up Rabbit's inside, however he did defend that quite well. Out of this next chicane now, or rather onto the next straight, I'm tucking into Rabbit's slipstream here, getting a decent exit. The Ford has slightly more straight line speed than me, so he is going to be safe just about into the next chicane. However, I'm going to be too late on my brakes again. Have to dive to the inside in order to avoid him. Rabbit again, good awareness there, goes for the cutback and takes his position right back off of me. I'm kind of struggling to find my rhythm here early on in the race. Have Manny relatively close there, just cover him off into this next turn. Not really an overtaking spot on this yard, already alongside pretty much. So still going to stay in P7 here on the opening lap, going through this very long double apex right-hander, which tightens up into this 90-degree turn there. A bit of a bump from behind, but no harm, no foul as we go into the hotel section here. Still following Rabbit, going to try and maybe get a bit of a gap to Manny to see if I can kind of catch up to the top pack by tagging along with Rabbit, and it looks like I've just been able to get a bit of a breather for now. Moving to the end of the race though, nothing else really happened. Just stayed in P7 the entire time, pretty much on my own for the most part. But yeah, not a bad race, not a bad result. That's going to put me P7 for the second race, so it's going to help me out a bit for the longer race. So we'll see what I can do in that one. And that's going to be the final race. Alright, getting into race 2 now. Starting P7, of course, as that's where I finished in race 1 here. It's in the daytime now, 12 laps, 1 quick stop is all that separates me and the end of the season at this point in time, or, well, that's what separates everyone from the end of the season at this moment. To go through turn 1, bit of a bump from behind, but again, no harm, no foul as I stay in P7 into the S's here. Going to have Sweet on my inside. I am going to be able to hold it around the outside there, hold on to my position, almost make some contact with Rabbit here. I'm just trying to be careful and avoid any collisions. I avoided being taken out or having an incident really in race 1, so that's what I'm also trying to avoid here. Basically on Rabbit's rear bumper, as he was very close to Fox there. It's getting a bit bumpy, but that is to be expected. These huge cars going through this very tight section there. Chris trying to have a look around the outside. I'm going to take a tight line here, hopefully get a very straight and a good exit, and it seems I've been able to do so. The gap to Chris is going to start opening up ever so slightly, staying in Rabbit's slipstream here, and I'm going to try and just gain some more speed by doing so. And I think the threat from Chris behind has receded now as we go into the chicane. He's not anywhere near going for a move, but I'm going to lock up on the brakes there. Have to go for a dive bomb once again. I was really struggling with my brakes into the heavy braking zones for some reason. I'm honestly not sure why, but anyway, move doesn't work out, and I stay in P7. Moving on to lap 4, and I stayed in P7, dropped off the back of Rabbit, and some of the faster guys were making their way through the field. Tom, for example, was catching up to me, and this was the beginning of the pit stop phase, or pit stop window. So I decided to dive into the pits very early on here, and my thinking was that if I dive in early and avoid any fighting, I might be able to stay out overall, because I was hoping that the faster guys would kind of catch up with each other and then start fighting with each other so that I could make up time. But yeah, we're going to have to see whether that works out in a couple laps time. And moving on to lap 7 now, which is when the pit stop phase ended, this is the net position, and well, I've lost 2 positions, so it didn't really work out. I guess Tom's and Yodefti's in laps and out laps were just that much faster than mine, so they did manage to get a bit of a gap. It's not a huge gap, and my laps were okay, but I think they were simply faster, and their pace was able to get them out in front of me. I'm going to have to try and live with that. I don't think that I'm going to be seeing much of them anymore for this race. I'm going to have to try and consolidate P9. However, after just cruising around the track really, because there was no one within proximity at that point, Zach went on a charge and tried catching up, which he actually did. So he's now trying to have a look down my inside into turn 1. I'm going to move across, cover the inside for turn 1. Be very cautious on the brakes there, just try and keep it alongside to make sure that he doesn't have any options to find a way past us, and manage to fend off his first attack there as we go through the S's. Not really a place for him to try and find another way past here, as we only have 2 laps left. I do want to hold on to this P9 every single counts, but moving on to the hairpin, or rather the exit, I'm not going to have the greatest of exits, so Zach, he's going to have a bit of a speed overlap here as he's going to start pulling up alongside, however on the outside into the chicane here, so it's going to be tricky for him to find a way past on the brakes, to try and matching him there. Kind of a bit of a lock up there, which accidentally means I run him out wide, but anyway, both of us get through that. I hold on to P9 as well. However, he's still relatively close on this next straight. It looks like I have gotten a better exit though, so I'm still in P9 here. He hasn't managed to find a way past with his 2 attacks so far. However, we're going into quite a technical section here with a fair few overtaking opportunities. Another lock up there. I was really struggling with my brakes. I honestly don't know why. Through the section here, just going to get a couple bumps, run it out wide. He's going to try have a look up the inside, bit more bumping there. Just going to close him off, barely giving him enough space on the curb. Not really a place to go up the inside or stick your nose alongside unless you are already fully side by side through this very long turn. Now he's going to have a look on the inside there. I'm going to try run him as narrow as I can, keep him on the curb there to try and limit his exit. He's done really well so far. However, into this hotel section, just going to try and slide my car ahead. He's still on my outside. Do need to give him the space into the next turn though. Not hitting the apex there is really going to hurt your speed. So I am going to be able to hold on to my position, just positioning my car where I need to be, and preventing him from taking the optimum line in order to hold on to 9th place. And in the end, Zach just wasn't able to find a way past, and thankfully I held on to this position, because Yemi at the front lost the race lead to Jam on the final turn of the final lap. And what this would mean with Yemi 2nd, myself 9th in this race, would mean that we would actually win the team's title, which is just absolutely incredible. Can't thank Yemi enough for all the work he put in, and really happy to have finally won some kind of title. So yeah, if I'd lost that position, I wouldn't have been so happy, but yeah, I did hold on to it, and I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye.